There we go.
Hi, Gabriella. Hi, Darlene. Liza, welcome.
We have two
Nice
more.
I'm sorry, I talked over you, Gabriella. What did you say?
Hello there. Hi.
Hello. And Angela's on here twice.
Yes, she came in twice. She must have had trouble with one of them.
She's cloned herself. Greet everyone.
I'm trying, yes.
There we go. So that was Angela. Angela's got to turn her volume down.
Yeah,
So,
and I think maybe because she's on there twice.
yeah, Angela, you got to turn your volume down on, and then you must be on your iPhone too, maybe?
Because you're in here twice.
Yeah.
I think I can go in here and disconnect this one, can I?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can or not. It says I can remove, not the one where your picture is, but the other.
Why don't you remove it?
I'll remove it. Once removed, she will not be able to rejoin the meeting.
Yeah. Well, she's there.
She's there on a different one. Okay, shall we try it?
Yeah, because otherwise I think the sound. Okay, now see if Angela can talk. Unmute her, or Angela, unmute yourself. Okay, that's better.
Oh, yeah. I'm challenged with media. I don't know why.
No worries at all. We all are.
Okay.
We all are. Can you make me co-host, Jamie, too?
Oh, yes, I will. Hang on just a second.
No problem.
Let me find you. Okay, we got people joining. Okay. Where are you? Oh, there you are. I hit the wrong thing. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, have I got, oh, so Yvonne is coming in twice too. Isn't that weird? I wonder if it's something. Let's see if she shows up. One says,
hello, Paula. Hello, Mel. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for hosting.
Yes, we're so excited you're all here. We're going to talk about a really fun subject.
Yay.
So, okay, so Yvonne only came in once, so that's great. Hi, Yvonne. So glad you could join us. You made it. She was worried she might not make it today.
Oh, well, we're glad you're here. It's showing in the waiting room that she's still joining, so we may have another one of those deals, but it's okay. We know about it now, whatever's going on.
She's collecting to audio, so that's good. Yeah. All right, perfect. Well, let's get started.
Absolutely. So welcome, everyone. We are excited for our topic today. We're excited you're here. This is great that we have such a great turnout. Did everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate that? Good. So we have an interesting topic about protection. And I think we've all heard about protecting yourself in the world of Reiki. And so Leah and I were talking and we thought, well, maybe this is a good subject to discuss amongst ourselves and, really explore it, see what you have heard, what we've heard. How important is it that we protect ourselves? Do we need that protection? Are we just putting up a wall so we can't connect to our animals? So yeah, I think it'll be a great discussion. And Leah, would you like to kick us off?
Sure. So the reason this has come up, in the teacher course that I teach, we've talked about that, like, what does that mean to protect yourself? So if you look at it in the very basic level, if you're protecting yourself, you're putting up a wall, you're putting up something in front of you. So if you're putting something up, how can you connect then? Like that really prevents you from connecting. But we also have to acknowledge that sometimes we may not feel safe. We may feel like we're starting to take on that person's energy. Like, we've all been around energy vampires. We can start feeling like, I'm feeling drained. And we have to realize that's less about them and more about us. So some of the ways that we can protect ourselves without putting a wall up is to ground ourselves, right? To go into that deep belly breathing, the heart breathing, the Joshin Kokyo breathing. That's one. Also, if you go outside, and if you're in a situation where you can do this, walking around barefoot in grass grounds you really, really quickly. And there's something really healing about it too. It's actually an anti-inflammatory when you do that, when you walk on grass barefoot. But most of us can't do that. We're in a situation where someone's coming at you. What do? I remember I was in a class and this lady asked me if I used the protection. It was so funny. She's all like, the one where it goes, and then it goes, and I was like, no, I don't know that protection, but that sounds really cool. But when we do that again, there's a block. So the easiest way, I think, is to ground yourself. Another way you can ground yourself is through the precepts, right? We'd say for today only, do not anger, do not worry. Don't worry about what you're feeling, let it go, be honest, be humble, and be compassionate. So if you look at yourself as like a circle, like your body's a circle, and you have all these different layers, and then you have a core, your heart is the core. So on the outside, we have all our fears, all our anger, and all of that, right? But with our practice, we start to go inward. When we think about protection, we're already protecting ourselves, right? We're protecting ourselves against pain. We think we're protecting ourselves. Think we're protecting ourselves against injury, emotional injury, because we have all these layers, the anger, the worry, all these things, right? But at our core is love. That is our true essence, is love. So if you look at protection through the lens of love, and the person that you're trying to protect yourself from, if you look at them as love, because they are at their core, they are the same as you. This is where oneness is. It's not, oh, I'm going to become one with you. It's we are all one at our hearts. So what we can do in that situation is do the precepts to get down to our core, down to our heart, and really be compassionate to the other person so that we can see where they are at, right? A lot of times when people come at you, they're angry, they are very injured, they're very hurt, and they're in pain. You don't have to protect yourself from that. You can just stay strong in your true essence of love, and you can send them love. You can say, you can see that person. What helps me is I see everybody as a little kid. So many times people who are out there, even Trump, who I love to pick on, but even Trump is like a little kid. He's like a little boy. Elon Musk is like a little boy, right? They're constantly trying to get attention and love that they've never had. They didn't have it as a child. And sadly, we've talked about this, when you're a child from birth to 12 years old, you're in the more deeper states of meditation, of being, your energetic being. And so you're soaking everything in. So if you were raised without love as a child, then you're going to be an adult that has a very hard time connecting and showing love. So I know I'm getting a little bit off course, but when we're trying to protect ourselves, we have to stop and ask ourselves, are we just trying to protect ourselves because we feel like, oh, I need to put something up because this person's going to come to me? Or can we just go a little bit deeper to our true essence and say, you know what? I don't need to be scared. I don't need to protect myself. I'm coming from love. I'm open. Nothing can attach itself when you're open. If you're closed off, stuff can stick to you. If you're open, everything just goes through. So in that space now you can say, I see you and I understand. And especially if they're coming at you to fight with you or argue with you, you can always say, I understand where you're coming from. I hear you. People want to be told, I hear you. I understand. You can even repeat back what they're saying to you. Doesn't mean you have to agree. You never have to agree, but you can say to the person, I understand. I empathize with you, right? And so, Jamie, I'll let you talk about it and then we'll turn it over to everybody else.
And first, I just want to welcome Mary Lynn and
Mary Lynn, welcome. And Kelly's here.
Kelly's joining us too.
Hi, Kelly.
So
and Liza, oh, that is so precious. Oh.
So I think, as you were talking, it's so right on. I think a lot of protection is really for me anyway, it's about my mindset. Okay. Like when I leave my home, I always say a little prayer asking for protection of the home and for, the kids that are here. But it's not like I'm expecting something out there to protect them. It's like setting my intention that we are safe. I am safe, Bella's safe, Oscar's safe, Sophie's safe. Everything around, all the little animals that find refuge here are safe. And it's more of an intention rather than needing something to protect me. Because I think when we know who we are, when we are sure of ourselves, when we really trust in ourselves, and how do we get there? We get there by really being steadfast in our practice. I think it's, the practicing our self-healing, our meditations, just being really sure with who we are, then we know it doesn't really matter. Things may come at us. Things will come at us. This is life. But we will be able to stand tall. We'll be able to withstand them.
It's funny too, because if you thought of yourself as someone who is pure love, right? And nothing attaches to you. You're like, I am just pure love. I'm pure light. Nothing can attach to me. And if you really believe that, which is true, we are this light. We are, we're really attached to our physical body and our ego, but underneath it all, our true essence is this beautiful light. If you think about that, and you think that nothing can harm you because you're pure love, then when somebody does come at you, you're just like, wow, that's interesting, because you can feel completely strong in, I am pure love. I am pure light. And you can have a lot more compassion. So if you think about, if you were raised just being with a loving family, loving friends, everybody just was love, 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 love. And then you come across someone who's angry, you'd be like, wow, that's really interesting. Wow, that's really sad, and you wouldn't get attached to it. The words that they're saying to you are just words, right? It's not, but what happens, right, is we put meaning to it. Oh, they're saying this, I need to be scared. They're threatening me, and then we have to go into protection mode. So Kelly, before we turn it over to all of you, I would love to hear what you have to say about protection, because you have a lot of years doing both human Reiki and animal Reiki.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Thanks for letting me crash a little late. So I was running behind today. So protection, I think, I don't know, I'm more of a hands-off girl myself. I feel like, well, it's my understanding that if we're all connected, right? How do we protect ourselves from something we're already connected to? But also it creates separation when we're thinking in that mindset of I need to be protected from a person or somebody's energy or whatever. We've now created that separation between us and them. We've created us and them, really. And like it's really hard to live in that non-dual space. But if our practice is all about eventually the realization, or throughout our practice, glimpses of the realization that we're connected to everything, then it's kind of hard to protect ourselves, right? So I think I go with grounding. I find, similar to what Leah and Jamie were saying, that the more grounded I am, the more things just, don't affect me. But I still, it's not like that doesn't ever happen, where I'm not like, I don't want to be around that energy, or I don't want to be around that person. But I also have to go to the compassion, the precepts about, the compassion precept about, I have to have compassion for that person. Leah was saying, that's so sad when somebody's really angry, but that's why there's a practice. It's not for me, this is my focus, this is my goal, but it's going to be back and forth. And some days I'm really in that space and I can be open and understanding when that kind of energy is around. And then other times I'm just like, please don't. But in the end, if I really am working towards the recognition and the complete understanding of being one with all things, then it's impossible to protect ourselves. So that's and the grounding is essential. We have to be grounded and centered so that those things don't knock us over.
And I think too, like if you're going to talk about protection, there are times when you should protect yourself. And by that, I mean, just remove yourself.
Mhm.
Remove yourself from the situation. You don't have to take someone's abuse. You don't have to take something that is making you start to feel bad. You know, you're trying to be grounded. You're trying to deal with it. You can say, you know what? I'm going to step away from this because it sounds like you've got an issue and I feel like I'm adding to that. So I'm going to remove myself. And that's also setting up boundaries, right? So boundaries aren't protection. Boundaries are a clear line in the sand. This is what I'll accept. This is what I won't. You know, a lot of people are on their own journey, and we as empaths, as animal Reiki people, we're open-hearted. We take on a lot of it. We're inviting it, right? We're bringing it in. Oh, here, let me try to help you. We don't have to do that. That's not, everyone is on their own path. They all have lessons to learn. So what we can do in the protection realm is we can just say, I'm going to step away from this and we can come back and talk about it later, or I'm going to step, or I'm going to, you know, leave the situation and I'll come back, or I won't come back. Because being open, being a Reiki person doesn't mean that you are now a doormat and you have to take abuse. That's not what that means. It means that you are strong, you are grounded, and now you have wisdom. Now you can see, you know what, this situation isn't going to get better. So I'm going to put my boundary up and say, thank you so much. And I love you and I see you, but I'm going to remove myself. And that's power for you. And as women, we really have to step into that power of boundaries. So it's in a way, it's a protection if you want to look at it that way. But really, it's stepping into your power to put up boundaries and feel good about it. When we put up boundaries, we're not saying, oh, you're mean, you're this, oh, I have to put up this boundary. We're just saying, you know what? I may not be in my practice deep enough, or I'm, you know, we're human. I may not have the strength today to deal with this. So I'm going to let it go. And also we have people in our lives that are constantly angry. That's their path. That's not your path. You could say, I love you. I just don't want to hear this today. Thank you. And I wish you well. So I don't know if anyone wants to say anything more about that one. Kelly, I didn't know if you had a comment about that.
Well, the only other thing I would add is that, you know, when we think about, you know, again, going back to the all is one, you know, the oneness with all things. I know, I remember this from, you know, working with people on the table, right? I do a table session, and my teacher asked me, well, you know, if you're feeling like you need to be protected from their energy, then don't they also need to be protected from yours? So, you know, we have to look at it that way too. So now, again, you know, we're separate, you know, we see them as other, and we're not in that oneness space. And that's really where we want to be for all our practices. I hear more about it in the human Reiki practices.
Yeah.
About the idea of protection. That's what I love about this practice. I mean, we just shine that light, you know, just shine the light.
But
anybody
sometimes
can come in.
Sometimes at the shelter, you know, you'll get angry people.
Mm.
And that's something that, you know, I think that a lot of times with protection, it's like taking on somebody's bad energy, right? But we don't have to. And again, that's where you can put up some boundaries, and it's not protection, it's just a boundary. You don't have to deal with negativity. Especially, you know, if you're trying to build up your positivity, and maybe like me, I kind of lean towards negativity. If I'm trying to build my positivity and somebody's coming at me negatively and like, nah, you know, it's better for me to say, I hear you, I see you, I don't want this to go somewhere it shouldn't. So I'm going to step away and we can readdress it, right? You know, just putting up those kind of boundaries. But I think that there are lots of times we're never really going to deal with this with an animal, but we will deal with this maybe with their people, or with the shelter, or with people who say, oh, what you're doing is stupid. Oh, you know, there's times like that. And you don't have to agree, because you know, this is why being in your practice, right? You know what your truth is. You know what you're doing. So sorry, Angela, we cut you off. You wanted to say something.
Oh, I just wanted to say, Leah, this is just so helpful. And like my personality type is sometimes I'm a people pleaser, like all the time, and can be very detrimental to me. So yeah, I think this really helps, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that all of us, I mean, as animal Reiki people, we all are people pleasers to a certain degree because we want to give, right? People who give, who are loving, they're people pleasers. You want everybody to be happy. You want everybody to feel good. But we have to remember that sometimes people have to learn their own lessons. And when we're trying to, like make it all better, they're not able to learn their lesson.
Mm, mm, mm. I want to say that I notice about myself that I'm sensitive and maybe overly sensitive. And so I can either get drawn in or I feel attacked, and my feelings, I feel hurt, and I then try to, and then an argument ensues or something to that effect, or and I find what you say about boundaries and saying, okay, take a deep breath, Mary Lynn, all is well, and say, it's best if I walk away right now,
Mhm.
and this go no farther for me right now.
Right.
And so that in a way it does protect me, or care. I'm caring for myself, that my feelings are not going to feel, I'm not going to feel hurt.
And it's really good that you are self-aware enough to realize that you are sensitive, that you might take things too personally, because then when it does happen, you can stop, do your Joshin Kokyoho breath, your belly breath, and just say, what about this is making me feel bad? What about what they said is making me feel bad? And ask yourself, think, does this remind me of another time? Is this something that I normally get upset about? Because it's less about the person, it's just words. And it's more about how you personally are processing those words, right?
Right.
And so it's really good though that you are, because a lot of sensitive people don't realize they're sensitive. They don't think they're sensitive. They think that everybody else is mean. So it's really nice that you are like, hey, I'm sensitive. I take
No,
things personally.
No, and what brought that up was what Angela said about being a people pleaser, and wanting everybody to be happy, and I want to make sure that you're happy, and sometimes that means I'm not, and that's not good.
Well, that's a conversation that's a whole nother conversation we should have, because we should talk about the detrimental aspects of being a people pleaser, because what happens is like what you're saying, your feelings get hurt. They don't respond the way you want. You give, and then you're like, all I get is oh, thanks. What? I just gave you so much. I just, this is a big part of me. I put a lot of time, effort. And when they don't give you it back, you're like, what? How is that? Okay. So, we can talk about that more, but yeah.
That would be.
Sorry. Liza had a comment, or her hand was up. So Liza, what would you like to share? Or
yeah, I was just going to say that I really appreciate you bringing up the boundary thing, because I have a part-time job at a bar. Oh man, I try really hard to ground myself every day before I go there. Well, 3 days a week I work there. And I have a particular client, a customer who's very challenging. I try really hard to not get angry and take things personally. And so I recently, he gets on pretty much everybody's nerves in my bar. And so I hear about it from everybody else. So, I have to like keep myself grounded as they're telling me about him. And I'm like having my own experience about this person. And I'm like, Okay. And just this last week, I had to have a conversation with him, and I was super calm. I came from a grounded place, and I explained to him how sometimes when you behave this way, this is how it's perceived. But my whole point was that I appreciate the boundary thing. I want to go in there and be all, Zen and like the Dalai Lama when I go to work at a bar, but it's very difficult. So if I can put boundaries in place, whatever that looks like for each given situation, I appreciate being able to look at it that way.
Well, Brene Brown has an amazing quote. It's to be clear is to be kind. To be unclear is unkind. So when we have a line, right? Okay, hey, I won't put up with this behavior.
Yeah.
And then we move that line. Now we're unclear. Now the person doesn't know, well, does she have a line? Does she not have a line? I mean, where is the boundary here? Or you say, I'm never going to do that for you. And then you turn around and you do that, right? That's unclear. But if we say, this is my boundary. I have friends who are very good with boundaries. They are so, and I respect that so much because, if they say no, it's like, oh, okay. But then you have friends that don't have boundaries, and I'm that person, and needle. Okay, yeah, fine, I'll do it. Right. So yeah, same as training a dog. Exactly. So we have to kind of, and that's, I remember I think there's a 1950s movie about how women said, you train your spouse like a dog. But it's true though, because when you train a dog, especially aggressive breeds, right, you have to have very strong boundaries. So it's no different for you, Eliza, in the bar, just start putting little boundaries. Like, tell yourself, okay, this is something I can live with. I'll put my line in the sand here. This is something I can live with. And like no more leaning over the bar or something, that, nope, not putting up with that. Nope. And then if you're consistent, they start to learn, oh, okay, she's not going to put up with that anymore. And same with that guy. If you just say no, and ignore him or whatever, whatever you want to put your line in the sand. But it's really good practice in our daily life to put little boundaries up so that we can, because those boundaries actually protect us and make us feel stronger. Like, actually, wow, I don't have to put up with that anymore. Because when we're constantly giving, guess what we're doing, you guys? We're weakening ourselves. Now we feel like something can attack us. But if we're strong in who we are, we have integrity, this is my line. Now, guess what? We don't feel like we have to protect ourselves. So really, boundaries are kind of a foundation for not even needing protection. It really builds your foundation of strength. I don't know, Paula, if you want to jump in, we always love to have new people talk. This is a very safe place. Yes. All of us were new at one point. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Paula can unmute herself, and that's okay if you can't, Paula.
Right.
Oh, here she goes. Great.
I can. Yeah, I absolutely can. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm just really listening, and everything is making complete sense. And I am definitely relating to the boundaries thing. I am also the type of person who has high expectations because I give a lot and I expect a lot in return. And I find that I am often met with disappointment when I don't receive that which I perceive I should be receiving. So the boundaries that are reflecting back at me is my self-boundary. How much should I be expecting of another? Should I actually be expecting anything of another? Why am I giving? Why am I doing? Am I doing to receive, or am I doing because this is really my place and this is really what I'm here to serve and to do? So it's making a lot of sense to me, and it's really bringing to focus a few tools that I can really work with in my own daily life and in my own practice.
Absolutely. I love that. And just asking, we all have to ask ourselves, why are we giving? If you want to give somebody, is it to support somebody? But when we give that gift, we can't expect anything in return. And that's, I think, the challenge. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment on Paula. That's such a great insight, Paula. Thank you for that too, because we're all overgivers, right?
That is a good insight. And I think sometimes, like I have known in my past, you know, I would give and give. And I too, I have pretty high expectations, you know, because I have high expectations of myself. This is how I behave in a friendship. This is what I do. And I just automatically expect that, which that disregards the other person's entire being, you know, what their past experiences might have been, what they're able to give, because we're not the same. We have different personalities, you know, so I'm not really honoring them for who they are. And there was a saying in Al-Anon when I was in that, and they said, and it was good for me to hear this, that you can tell when you tell someone something once, you're telling them how you feel. After that, you're trying to control them. And so I have to remember that sometimes. Yes, I set these boundaries and I can tell them that, and I can have expectations of myself, but really I'm much happier when I have no expectations of anyone else or the situation. You know, if I just let go of expectations, I am much happier.
I agree. I think, you know, I was a really bad people pleaser. I still am to a certain degree, but what it does is it depletes you. And, you know, it's really unhealthy. And for me, the reason why, like at work, so I would give and give and give and give and give to everybody at work, right? Because in my, you know, I think that my ego needed to feel like that importance, right? Oh, Leah's really important. Oh, she's giving so much. Oh, you can always go to Leah. She's really reliable, right? I needed that. And so I would overgive so that I would get that. And I had to really like sit with that and think, okay, how can I get this without depleting myself, right? How can I get acknowledgement, love, acceptance without overgiving? And that's, you know, that's a rabbit hole, but it's really when we can look at ourselves and say, what are we really expecting out of these people? And is it something we can give to ourselves? Yeah, Kelly.
So we teach people how to treat us. And so when we do that, and when we're overgiving, people get used to us overgiving. And it's really hard to back off from that, because now they have an expectation and they're like, well, why aren't you, you know, you always do this, whatever. And as that line shifts, we have more self-esteem, really, because we have stuck to our boundaries. And also we're taking better care of ourselves, you know, but if we're constantly doing things because we want others to like us, or we're doing things because we think, you know, nobody else is going to do it, so we have to do it. And believe me, I know this from experience. We wind up, like Leah was saying, depleting ourselves, but we get caught in that rabbit hole of like, how do I get out of this? And again, I think, you know, the precepts, because we think about, you know, we have to be honest, right?
Right.
So if we're honest with ourselves, we know it's not healthy for us, but we continue to do it. We have to look at the reason why. You know, do we want people to like us? Is it about, we have this sort of, you know, savior archetype going on, or, you know, something like that? And so it's hard to extract ourselves from that sort of thing. But if we're really grounded again and really working with the precepts, we can really delve into that. Why am I doing this? You know, and now, you know, everybody around us, that balance gets thrown off with everybody else when we just are like, nope, not doing that anymore. But it will happen. But we just have to be really strong and repetitive about, you know, like Leah was saying with Liza, you know, just, nope, that's a line. That's a line. Don't cross it. And it's hard at first, really.
Oh my God.
Really hard. Because you want to back off, and you don't want to, you know, then now somebody's feeling bad and now you're feeling even worse, you know, so this whole dance that goes on. And so when you can really hold that boundary, you're also teaching somebody else how to hold a boundary. And I think, you know, a lot of us don't know how to do that anymore. There are like no boundaries in society anymore, it seems like, right? Everybody's in everybody else's business, and you know, so I
love that. And Paula, thank you so much for speaking up, because you can see where, you know, your comment really helped even further this. Because yes, we started with protection, But as women, right, boundaries are our protection. We don't have to disconnect from our world or anything, but we could say, I am, I have this boundary, and you don't want people crossing that, because then we feel bad and then we feel icky, and then we're like, but I give so much, and it's just this rabbit hole, right, for us women. And I'm so glad we have these support groups, because this is really nice to be with so many people and go, oh my God, we're all different, yet we all feel the same way. And I love that.
Absolutely.
I agree
Yeah,
with all that
absolutely,
too.
Leah. Thank you very
So-
much for that.
Oh yeah, thank you, Paula. And thank you for joining us. We love new voices, and yeah.
Mel,
So good to be
I-
here.
I absolutely agree with that too. It took me a long time to learn how to set healthy boundaries and not
Yes.
be an ego, because an ego boundary is completely different. That is putting up a wall saying no, but not in a healthy way.
Mhm.
It can take a lifetime to learn to set healthy boundaries. But once you know how to do that, it is a game changer.
Do you have any tips, Mel?
I think it depends on the situation, whether it's a personal business or a friendship or family. I mean, I've had to set healthy boundary with my mom numerous times, and it improved our relationship. It didn't lessen it. We are closer because of it. Because there was something where I didn't speak to her for almost 5 months, which is a long time for my mom and I not to speak. But something happened, and I told her, I was like, no, I cannot have you in my space this way. Your energy is affecting me. I was like, until you work out what is going on with you, until you work on yourself, I was like, please stay away from my energy, like stay out of my energy. Because she was, and then she would come back, and I was very open to whenever she tried to come back in with a message or something, and I was open to it. I'm like, okay, let's see if she's put some work into herself. And the first couple of times she didn't, and I was like, okay, I see nothing has changed. I'm like, please come back to me, or please message me when things have changed with you, not with me or with us, but in your circumstances, how you're feeling and everything. And her ego was so huge. It was just, I was like, wow. So I kept that on for it. This was in a period of 5 months, and I just kept it going until she finally came back, and she said, I had so much going on, and I didn't realize how it was affecting you until it really affected me. And so I'm like, okay, we're good. Then we went out for dinner the next night, and everything was fine. And it wasn't because I was angry at her. I needed her to realize that I'm a Pisces too. So it's like, we're very big water signs, or, we're very overgivers too sometimes, but it felt good to know how to put up a healthy boundary, and not to intentionally hurt somebody, because that's not the right way to set up the boundaries, but to do it for you, out of self-love, and not to intentionally hurt somebody else to put up like those kind of boundaries. Those are not good boundaries,
Yeah, I love that, because you're right, doing it with love. Go ahead, Jamie. Sorry.
yeah, I was going to say, I love the fact that you were open. I mean, you were very upfront. Here's, I can't have you here because of this. When you can get past this, I want this relationship again. You were open to her coming back, but then,
right.
But you still said, but it has to be this way. And that is out of love. And when we do anything out of love, it just goes so much better than when we're, trying to control them, or in our ego, or like, I'll get mad and I'm going to cut you off. And yeah, I think that's beautiful.
That's why our practice is so important.
I I don't have a like a sheet, like a wall that comes up now for protection. I want to just bring it back to that real quick. I actually
good.
have to. I'm meeting horses today, so in a little while. But I've created an energy sensor shield for myself. So it's not a wall. It glows. It's full of light. It's almost it's very transparent. So it's not a solid block, but it's more of a sensor. So if somebody with an energy that is would potentially not like an energy attack, but something that's coming at me and it could possibly unground me. It's a sensor that comes up, and so my shield comes. It's again, it's very light. It's nothing heavy. It's just but it actually kind of reflects to the person before they come at me, what they're coming at me with, energetically, and it's been great. I've had a lot of, especially like when it's in situations where I know something like this can happen. It's proven itself to work. It has like an energy sensor, like a motion sensor light. It just comes on automatically, so I don't have to do anything. But it's not that it doesn't let anything in. It's just it reflects to the person, and it's people oriented only, because animals, I don't.
Right.
It's just, you know. But it reflects back to them before they even come to me with something like that, what the energy is. It's kind of like a mirror. They see their energy sees their own reflection before it like would even come and penetrate me. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but it's been fantastic, and it works. And I'm still open because I can see it, because it's a transparent shield, and it's out of light and only does what it needs to do. It's kind of like Reiki. Reiki energy goes where it needs to go. It does what it needs. You can't direct it. You just let it be. And so I created an energy shield sensor.
It sounds like, Mel, it sounds like really, to me, you're kind of incorporating your light, and just putting this light in this bubble around you. And now, people who might be coming at you, they see that light. I think that that's a beautiful thing to always do, to really focus on our light, right? When we feel like maybe something is coming at us, go to your light, put your light out, make your light a bubble around you. That's not really protection necessarily. That's you being our loving, bright self. And in your light is so bright. It's true. People could see that mirrored back to them. Plus they recognize that light is in them, like maybe not consciously, but subconsciously. I've
just had a couple of incidences where somebody came at me. It was not that they're coming directly at me, but their energy was coming at me, even though it had nothing to do with me. So it's just like basically energetically. But before they brought all this rough, this harsh, intense energy towards me, it kind of reflected back to them already before they came that close, and they're like, oh, and they stopped themselves. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I can't bring this to this person. And then they turned around. They literally would walk away. They would come at me with like a story, something that they were feeling, and then they saw me and they were just like, okay, it's like a boomerang. They came and left, and it's great, but it's like, and I sat there and I just had a smile on my face, because I was like, okay, I'm like, this is just as good for me as it is for you, or the other way around. This is just as good for you as it is for me, because we're not, connected to this intense energy that you're bringing to me that's potentially going to unground me, when you realize, oh, wait, it's kind of like people are setting their own boundaries with themselves before they even bring it to me. And it's great. It's worked. And so it's just, I can visualize it. It's just hard to explain. So, yeah.
No, thank you. I love that. I don't know. I know we're getting down to time because we still want to do our meditation. If anyone else has any comments. Darlene, you haven't said anything. Did you have anything to share?
No, thanks. Just soaking it all in.
Okay. Mary Lynn, did you, or Yvonne, we haven't heard from Yvonne. I don't know if Yvonne, it's late for her.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
sorry.
I actually have to leave.
Wait,
Oh,
go
Sorry,
ahead,
I actually
Yvonne.
have to leave.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
running
Mel,
out.
thank you
I
so
have-
much for joining.
Bye.
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 Now, enjoy your horses.
Oh, yeah, fun.
Yes.
yeah, no, nothing from me, Leah. Thank you. It's just interesting listening to this topic actually, and especially with the protection side of things as well. So no, really interesting. Thank you.
Right. Anyone? Oh, Liza,
Just real quick, this is off
That's all right.
topic.
we got time.
Last meeting, you talked about the packet that you guys were gonna have ready. I went on my phone yesterday on the website and I didn't find it, but sometimes I
No,
can't.
you didn't. That we had a little bit of a delay because I realized that some of the photos we used were stock and we can't resell with stock photos. So
Okay.
then I had to put new photos in, and then we added a little more text. And then there was one other delay. Oh, I had to make like a Loom video, and then I made a Loom video explaining Canva. And then I realized at the end of it, or after, I'm like, I didn't tell them how to save it and download it. So then I had to make another little. So
Okay.
it's just been a process. It's done. It's
Yes.
ready. We're going to put it on the site, I think, in the next day or two.
Yes,
Nice.
Leah was
Thank you.
working hard on getting it all set to go.
Well, every time you think it's done, right? Then it's like, oh, shoot. Okay, no.
Got this. Oh, wait, we got to change this.
Thank you.
Yes, we just have to get it on the site and get it so it's automated. So as soon as you purchase it, it gets to you. So that may take a couple.
Yeah. And that was the other missing piece too.
Is that going to be on the Sarah?
No, it'll
Website.
be on Animal Bonds.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being interested. We're excited because you'll be able to put your logo right on there and personalize it, and it's all done. Don't have to do anything except for put your company name in a couple spots, put your email, and boom, you have an introduction to animal Reiki workbook. So very exciting. So anything else before we go into meditation time? Anything else you want to share? Kelly, you don't want to have any words of wisdom you want to share? We
I'm just
haven't
gonna
seen
say
you in
it's
so long.
Frisbee Dog Day. Be 3 Frisbee dogs out there.
This is like concentration. Oh my God, that's so
Like we all called
funny.
each other. It's like, what are we gonna wear?
That is so
And Navy
hysterical.
also. I think everybody's got Navy on too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Everybody
That
got the
is-
memo.
And that is
That's
so,
right.
except for me, I'm always in black, but, and Jamie's in black too. But that is so funny that you guys all three, because that's not a common one that, people.
Yeah, it's an older
wear.
one.
Uh-huh.
That is so funny. That one I probably never wear. That's so funny. Oh my God. I love that. And we're coming up with our World Animal Reiki Day shirts. That fundraiser is going to start tomorrow. And hopefully they'll have the green sweatshirts. I got a green sweatshirt last year and it's so nice. I love green. And I know you love green, Kelly.
I don't like that green though.
The dark green?
Yeah, it's a little bit too foresty. I prefer like army green, like 383.
Oh my God, you're so
383
funny.
green.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So yeah, so that's, and then, we have I hope you all are signed up for Sarah's newsletter because we announce things and we're coming out with our conference. And if you have a business, you can have a booth at our conference. And yes, there might be a few animal Reiki people, but what we're going to be sharing in the conference in little breaks and driving people to the exhibit hall is that it doesn't matter how many Reiki people there are, you're going to resonate with someone. And in your, virtual exhibit booth, you're going to be able to have a little video and kind of introduce yourself. And so people will get to say, oh yeah, you know what? I really resonated with her, because somebody who might sign up with Kathleen probably isn't going to sign up with me. Somebody who signs up with me may not sign up with Kelly. We all have our tribe. So we encourage you to just get your name out too. It's a great way for you to get your name out, get some people on your mailing list. But yeah, that's coming up.
And
So
the booze, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be animal Reiki, right, Leah?
Mhm.
It could be if you're a dog trainer, if you do essential oils, for animals, anything that you might do.
Absolutely. Yeah, anything.
Yeah. So
So,
don't start thinking, oh, it's just got to be animal Reiki, because it doesn't.
no, absolutely. I'm so glad you said that, because no, it doesn't. It can be anything. If you're a consultant, even like, it doesn't even have to be necessarily animal related. We're just, because this isn't an animal Reiki conference. This is letting animals lead us to a better future. And we have different animal advocates speaking about how to be better with animals. Like Dr. Brenda Jagathisan is going to talk about the importance between animals and children, and how animals not only offer emotional support, but they also help them find confidence and strength to, like overcome bullying, or get over stage fright, or get over the fright of reading. We've all seen that in shelters, right? The little kids, they go in and read, and kids who have a problem reading, right? So she's going to talk about that. And Dr. Gary Richter is going to talk about the importance of nutrition. And he has a line of dog food. He didn't promote it, but he's got a really good line of dog food. We're going to have Kay Bradshaw talk about animals and meditation. We're going to have David Michi is going to talk about lions and meditation, right? Because he's down in Africa. And Mark Beckoff is going to be speaking about compassion in animals and what we can do. And we have a vegan, a famous vegan. She's been vegan since the 80s, which, oh my God, can you imagine? Like there was nothing for vegans back in the 80s, like 83, I think. I don't even know. She said you used to get soy milk in this powder in a Ziploc bag shipped to you like it was illegal drugs. And, that's how it was back then. Now, if you're vegan, it's very easy. But back then it really wasn't. And she has a really good talk on there too. So yeah, a lot of different just people coming together, a lot of rescues. We have Rachel Wright, who Kelly knows very well from Tolfa. She's going to talk about the work that she does in India, which it's really important down there because they don't have a lot of services. So yeah, it's going to be a great conference, and we're all going to be there. So, well, Jamie and Kelly and I are going to be there for definitely. So you have to join us.
Yes.
So should we do a meditation?
Yes.
Ready for the meditation?
Yes. If you don't mind, I thought I would do one kind of based on the smiling meditation.
Oh.
And this one is going to be tapping into our center of love. Okay. And so hopefully I can do it because I haven't really practiced it that much, but let's just,
excellent, because Sophie wants to play and she might be noisy. So I can just mute and enjoy.
okay. So we're going to get nice and comfortable, and we're going to put our hands in prayer pose or gasho, and we're just going to set our intention that we're open to receive whatever it is that we need most at this moment in time, and that we're open to holding space for each other. And in this beautiful space that we are creating, this beautiful healing circle, let's just take a moment and add to it any people, animals, or situations that need extra support. And whenever you're ready, you can put your hands face up or face down on your lap, just nice and comfortable. And we're going to do a few breaths, just breathing in through our nose, pulling our breath deep into our belly. Expand your belly and hold for just a moment, and then slowly release that breath out your nose. And just a couple more breaths of that. Really expand your belly on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, feel all tension leaving your body. Feel your shoulders soften. Your jaw starts to relax. Your throat relaxes. Any tension in your temples or head starts to leave. Now I'd like us to just focus on a nice, easy breath. In Reiki, this is a Joshin Kokyoho breath. Pulling your breath from your nose down into your belly. Expand your belly and see a light at your belly. And on the out breath, expand that light through your body and out your skin into the space around you. We'll just focus on that breath in your light and how it expands with every out breath, filling your body and the space around you with a beautiful light. This light can be any color that you see. It could be white or blue or purple. This is your own beautiful healing light. Now, I'd like you to bring to mind a person or an animal that makes you feel immense love. Just focus on them and focus on how much you love them. Feel your heart expand. See your heart connecting with theirs. This beautiful space of pure love. Feel your whole entire body fill up with this emotion of love. In this space, you are pure love. Feel this beautiful oneness with the person or animal that you love. Feel the merging of your hearts together. Your souls becoming one. In this beautiful heart-centered space, you deeply understand oneness. As you breathe in life, and as you breathe out love. This is your true essence. This feeling of love is who you truly are. In this space, nothing else can come through. Always remember that you are love, and that when you shine your love, love is mirrored back to you. Now just sit in a moment in this space. Start to lose all sense of your body. And just soak in this beautiful feeling. Now, as we start to come back into our bodies, keep this beautiful feeling of love with you. Don't shut your heart down as we come out. Keep your heart expansive, knowing that this love that you are mirroring out is going to be mirrored back to you throughout your day. When you start to lose sense of this beautiful feeling, just tap back into this space that we've created. Tap back into this space of love, into the space of who you truly are, your true essence. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your hands into Gasho, give thanks to yourself and to all who joined you. And I give thanks to each of you for this beautiful meditation. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring yourself back. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Leah. That was beautiful.
Who doesn't
Thanks,
love
Leah.
love? You're welcome. But you know, we have to remember, we are love. Oh, look. Oh, I love Angela's
Somebody
little dog.
loved it.
Her little dog is so adorable.
She wants attention. She dances.
Oh my God, so cute.
Mine too wanted attention too. See that beautiful feeling of love. We think, you know, it's all serious, but really our animals are responding. They're like, yeah, love. No stress, no anger, just love. Thank you all so much. Yvonne, thank you so much for staying up late and dialing in. Paula, thank you. Welcome. We hope you will rejoin us. It was wonderful to have you.
And
Thank you.
Liza, Angela, and Mary Lynn, and Darlene, thank you as always. We so appreciate you.
I think Paula wanted to say something. Sorry, Jamie.
No, I was just saying thank you so much. It's late here as well. I'm in South Africa. It was really amazing to meet you all, and I'll definitely be back.
Well, thank you so much for joining us from South Africa. Love that.
Nice to meet you, Paula.
Yeah, really wonderful to meet you. Mary Lynn's always so nice to see you. Angela, love her little dog.
Good to see you, Mary Lynn.
If you guys haven't seen the movie Cruella, you've got to watch it. Her little dog looks like it's in it. Liza, so great to see you. Darlene, I'll see you later tonight. Always lovely to see you. And girls, thanks for representing with your shirts. So funny.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Have a great night.
Miss
Bye.
you, Kelly.
You too, Mary Lynn. See you soon.
Yeah. Bye. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.